What's up, guys? So I know that commentaries aren't really my style or my channel style, but I figured that there were just a few things that I needed to address about the current state of the modding community, if you will. Things have obviously been shifting, and I'm sure a lot of people who have been in the modding community for over 6 months have probably noticed it. Um, Everything in this video is my opinion. I'm not, if I say something that might end up, you might be a part of the group that I'm addressing. Obviously, this is not trash talking. I'm not aiming anything at you. I'm not trying to insult anybody with this video. These are just my opinions that I've synthesized from the past 3 years versus the last 2-3 months of modding. Things have definitely changed, and so I figured I would just kind of get to the point and address things that people have been asking about. The number one thing that I definitely want to talk about is the community. It's money driven at this point, and it only recently started. The birth of Xbox Live Stealth brought with it a lot of people who, they saw the profit that Stealth was making, and who wouldn't want to get on it. But the way that they go about it isn't necessarily the best, in my opinion. No one can deny that there are a lot of things for sale when it comes to JTAGs and RGHs now. I only recently heard about things for sale, maybe like 6 months ago, and I was flabbergasted when I heard that, because I wasn't used to hearing about things being for sale. I wasn't used to people selling their tool for $30 a day. Was not used to that at all. I was used to I would go on a forum, I would download this patch, and I would run it, and I would play the game with that patch. But at first I was okay with it, because it was generally people that put in 6-7 months of research and coding into these tools, and so I was like, what, fine, you can sell it, no problem. If I was in your position, I would be selling this tool too. It's pretty obvious you put a lot of work into it. Good luck with sales. Recently, however, last 2 to 3 months, things have changed, and it's now everybody is selling these tools that are many times literally just copies of the free version of the tool with maybe 1 or 2 things added. That is, completely ridiculous in my opinion. People are just copying code from a free tool, pasting it into their tool, changing the GUI, making it look cool, doing something, and then next thing you know, a free tool is now going for $10 a day. And it's generally targeted at, people who are newer to the community that aren't entirely sure, where to look for free tools and where to look for free menus, so they end up purchasing a tool that they could have gotten completely for free. On the other end of the spectrum is the rate of infected files that are popping up all over the place. There's always been infected files, but because of the rise of RPC tools, it's getting worse and worse. People, especially on the newer games, menus are dying. Let's be honest. RPC tools are the main venue that people now use when they're modding. They're convenient, they're easy to use. You just press a button and you're modding. As easy as they already use, though, they come with the risk now of it being infected. People are just taking a free tool, binding it with a keylogger or a rat or something along those lines, and releasing it. People who make free tools are now, putting KV stealers in there to get free KVs, and it's just it's terrible. It's a community infecting itself, which has never worked in the past. A community can't survive if every member is trying to kill the next member. It just can't work like that. No one should be getting infected in the first place, but when you're targeting your friends on a forum, or the same people that helped you when you first started coding, if you then turn it around and start infecting them, the community will never survive like that. So on both ends of the spectrum, whether it's paid or you now have the risk of free tools being infected, the community is suffering. I don't even download menus and tools anymore because I have no idea what's going on in the background. When I do download them, though, I guarantee myself, I run Anubis scans, I run virus total scans, and I check absolutely everything that I possibly can before I run the tool. And I almost never run them normally. I usually run them sandboxed or something along those lines, simply because you just can't trust anything anymore, which is a real shame. I'll end it there. But I could easily keep going. Another thing that people seem to be talking about is the seeming KV crisis that's going on these days, where KVs used to last 2 to 3 weeks, and now all of a sudden you're going through 5 KVs a day. And the answer is truthfully fairly simple. In my opinion, there's two big parts to this. The first one is the rise in free servers and offline files. I don't care what your KV seller says. I can say with almost 100% certainty that your KV seller is selling you shared KVs. Very few sellers, if any, still sell unshared, 100% unshared. Which is, it was fine before when everybody was using stealth. It had XOSC spoofing, MAC spoofing, and you were pretty much protected for a solid 2 weeks. You could still use a shared KV, and you could share it with 4 or 5 people, and everyone could get 2 weeks out of the KV, no problem. But with the rise of offline files especially, offline files don't offer the same protection. So a KV a KV that someone with offline files is using might only last anywhere from a few hours to, let's say, 2 days. And, that's fine for the person using offline files, but for the person who, bought the server, that's a real shame. They were expecting to get 2 weeks out of the KV, but instead they get, let's say 15 hours out of it. And, they weren't expecting that, so then they have to go and get another KV. And if that KV is also shared with someone using offline files, they might only get another day or two out of that KV. So they end up having a much bigger financial investment than they initially thought they were going to have, because they not only bought the server, now they're also buying a new KV every day, when they figured they would have to buy 1 KV and it would last them for 2 weeks. So, that's one of the big issues that people who are going online are going to be facing, even more so as more free servers and offline files are popping up. The free servers obviously aren't as bad because they generally all use the same files, so they have the same types of spoofing. But the person who uses the free server is going to be much less concerned about, money and the state of, keeping a KV unbanned, as opposed to someone using purchase stealth. So, that just adds in, human recklessness. I'm not saying everyone who uses a free server is going to be reckless, but I say it leaves a much greater chance for people to be reckless with what they do, what they say, and how they act when they're on a free server as opposed to a purchased one. The final thing that is causing KVs, and this is definitely the worst, is people posting on open forums. We'll take the techgain.com for example. TTG is a great site, not that many people can deny that, no matter what you think about anything else. It is a great site. It has a lot of information on it, and it's a great community that people like to host for. But at the same time, they're hosting for them, but they're also screwing themselves and the people they're hosting for. TTG is an open forum, meaning that people can, get on there without making an account. They can view the forums, view, what's going on, and that's one of the things that's contributed to TTG's popularity. At the same time, it's also the downfall of hosting lobbies on that site, or 7sins, or hack forums, or any of the sites that you might want to use. When you post saying, hey, hosting a challenge lobby, here's my gamer tag, join my session, there is nothing stopping a Microsoft employee or any person from viewing that post. And, anyone who thinks that Microsoft employees or Microsoft hasn't hired people to just watch forums like this are completely out of their mind. It is such a perfect way of enforcement, if you think about it, to be able to watch the epicenter of hosting lobbies, essentially, 24/7. All you have to do is watch this one forum, watch the Call of Duty modded lobbies forum. Just refresh the page every 10 minutes. If you see a lobby, then, you know, ban the person who's hosting the lobby. I guarantee you that if you post, I'm hosting a challenge lobby, join my session, here's my gamer tag, you will be banned that day. And I would guess within that hour, to be completely honest. Before I even thought of this idea that, you know, Microsoft employees are probably viewing the forums, because there's literally nothing stopping them from doing that, I did host a challenge lobby on TTG. I got banned within 20 minutes. Everybody that was in my lobby got a 2-week suspension, and my retail got a 2-week suspension. So the punishment for posting on these forums, saying that you're hosting, goes far above the punishment that you would normally receive when you're just regularly hosting. And I don't care what server you're using. I don't care if you're using Xbox Live Stealth. I don't care, you know, what you're doing, offline files, regardless. I don't care what kind of protection you have. You could have the best automatic ban protection possible. You're going to get banned because it's a person. You know, Microsoft employees are people. You know, sometimes everyone forgets that, but they're actual people, and they can actually manually ban you. So that is by far the biggest issue. Because if you're sharing a KV with someone who decides it's a good idea to post on TTG or 7sin saying that they're hosting, they get banned, you get banned. That's why, you know, the other day I saw a post of someone saying they went through 5 KVs in one day. And everyone's blaming the KV seller. And I'm like, I doubt it. I truthfully doubt that the KV seller is responsible for that. It's probably because either him or the person he's, you know, sharing the KV with is posting all over forums, saying, you know, hey, you know, I'm hosting this, come join, because you will get banned faster than you think, and the punishment is more extreme than you think. So that's just kind of what I wanted to say. Just one thing though, don't think that I'm bashing, you know, these forums. You can feel free to have as much JTAG, RGH, you know, discussion as you want, get as much support. I personally try to help as much as I can on TTG. You know, those sites are great for that. But the second that you affiliate a gamer tag and a lobby, or a gamer tag and, you know, a JTAG, that pretty much is going to be the end of that gamer tag. You know, you're going to see yourself banned, and that's just a fact. Same thing if you go in posting about boosting, cheating, anything of that nature. The second you affiliate a gamer tag with that topic, you know, they're going to be watching you. And I don't say that to sound creepy. I say that because, you know, that's reality. That's an actuality. So yeah, feel free to leave your opinions. I try to do this as respectfully as possible and not, you know, get on anyone's nerves. So I ask that you do the same. But yeah, hopefully you guys will have a bit of a better idea of what's going on after this video. And, you know, yeah, stay safe, guys.